Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm starting my Romance-a-thon week-long readathon vlog. It starts today, June 22nd, and it runs through the end of the week. And I already shared my tentative TBR with you in my romance recommendations video, where I also shared my TBR on that, and it says so in the title. So it's just, I think it's probably just the previous video to this. So anyway, the three books on my TBR are Beach Read by Emily Henry, In 5 Years by Rebecca Serrell, and Normal People by Sally Rooney. So I don't remember all of the prompts off of the top of my head, but one was read a 2020 release, and both of these are 2020 releases. One of them was read a new author to you. All of these are new authors to me. One was read one with an illustrated cover. All of these have illustrated covers. This one, the illustration is just this line drawing in the back. This one, obviously very illustrated. And this one has the New York City skyline illustrated in the back and like right here. So all of them account for those three prompts. Read one with 5 or more words in the title, and actually none of mine count, but if I want to be a little bit cheeky, it does have 5 word in the title. But anyway, I just wanted to open up this vlog and say hello. You will be following me throughout my week as I tried to read hopefully all 3 of these, but I seriously doubt all 3 of these. I am gonna start with Beach Read by Emily Henry. I had already started this before last month when I got it from Book of the Month, but I wasn't in the mood for it. I read the first 3 chapters. I was around the 36, so I was on page 36. But I'm just gonna go ahead and start from the beginning because it has been a while and I just don't remember really what happens. I did mark when our 2 main characters meet. I did this little tab the first time through, so that was on page 12. I'm using my new, I think this is the summer one, Meadow Flowers with Bees and Butterflies by the World Wildlife Organization. They send me these bookmarks and I'm using this. So yeah, I'm just gonna start over at the very beginning. Today is gonna be not that busy, but it is going to be a little busy. I'm not going to get to read right away, probably not until I get home from my morning errands. So if you don't know, my dog Charlie had bilateral leg surgery on both of her back legs. She had an ACL tear. She also had issues with her patella tendon, and it's been 2 weeks. So we are finally taking her to the vet today to get her staples removed, and she will no longer have to wear her cone. Also, they're mowing outside in the common area, so I can't really do anything about that. So I have to drive her to Virginia Beach and do that. I'm actually doing that by myself. Then I'm going to be filming my mid-year book freakout tag, which I'm going to film that, hopefully edit that and schedule it for a little bit later in the week, like maybe Tuesday, tomorrow. We will see if I get everything edited. If not, maybe it'll just go up a little late. I also want to run to California Tortilla and get some chips and guac, and I also want to run to Barnes & Noble and get a copy of The Poet X. My friend Allie and I have been talking about it, and she's like, you have to read it, like you're gonna love it. So I trust her judgment, and I have been wanting to try out some of Acevedo's work, so that's the one I'm gonna give a go. Charlie is home. She has her staples removed, so that's good. Really happy about that. It is 94 degrees today, so it is very hot. Yeah, I just got home from taking her to get her staples removed. We're gonna have to leave her cone on for a little bit longer until she's not like licking where her staples were, where her incisions were. That's that. I am about to run to California Tortilla and get some chips and guac, and then I'm also gonna run to Barnes & Noble and get The Poet X. Hello friends, I thought I would check in. The day's been busy, but I have managed to read about 60-ish pages of beach read. Currently on page 69, and I'm about to sit down and read a little bit more. It is storming outside, as I showed you a little bit of that. Probably going to be starting dinner in a little while, but I'm hoping to at least read another chapter or two before I do that.
We haven't had a good boom in a little while. It was pretty consistent there for about a half hour. We really had a, I mean, it flooded the backyard. Well, we don't flood. It just rises a little bit, and then it goes down pretty quick. Yeah, we had lots of water.
Friends, I wanted to check in with you. It is 7:06. I'm currently on page 146, and I am really liking it. It's so cute. I'm making dinner. We're having spaghetti. So I have our vegetarian spaghetti sauce over here, and I have the pot going for some noodles, and it should be a good time. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the book, and I'm just taking a break to make dinner. Good morning, friends. It is day 2 of Romance-a-thon, and I read so much more of Beach Read than I thought I was going to. Yeah, so I'm reading Beach Read by Emily Henry, and I mentioned that I had read a little bit before. I went ahead and restarted over at like page number 1, and yesterday I managed to read 264 pages, and I was really trying to push through and like finish a book, and I was like, wow, I may actually read more than one book this week. But I stopped on page 265, chapter 22, and that was about like 73%, I believe. I've already started reading this morning. I've read a handful of pages, and I am currently on page 305, and it is 358 pages, so 53 more pages to go. I'm really excited to see where it goes, because like, it's really good. I can't imagine not giving it 5 stars at this point, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish it up, and then I'll jump back on here and let you know my thoughts, and then I will try to decide what I'm going to read next. Okay guys, I just finished Beach Read, and it was so good. If you guys haven't read this and you love romance, you need to get on this. It is such a cute premise. I love the characters. It's not just romance, like there's other things going on as well. There's 2 writers that are struggling to write their next book. There's the fact that January's dad has died, and in the past her mother has been diagnosed with cancer twice, and it's crazy. There's so much more I could tell you, but some of it isn't revealed until like further into the story, so I don't want to mention it. But like, it just makes me want to move to like a small beach community, town, city, whatever, and like live there, because I love the small town vibes. How there's like this crappy coffee shop, and there's like a bookstore, and like everybody knows everybody, and it just sounds so freaking magical. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a fairy tale, and I just... oh, I loved it so much. 5 out of 5 stars, highly recommend. It's basically about Augustus and January living next door to each other in these beach houses in North Bear Shore or something like that. I forget the name of the town, but it's so freaking adorable. I want to live there. And they're both struggling to write their next book. She usually writes romance. He usually writes like literary fiction. And they decide that they're going to swap genres for the summer she's gonna write a literary fiction, he's gonna write a romance, and they're gonna like help each other. They're gonna go on these like mini excursions and stuff like that to like kind of help each other realize their new goal for their book. Like, it just, there's many layers to the story. It's definitely like a romance at the heart of it, but the background story and stuff like that, there's definitely a good background story as well. So I highly recommend it. If you're a fan of romance, if you're a fan of like writers, if you're a fan of like family dramas, like, now we have to go figure out what I'm gonna read next. And I have Normal People, or I have In 5 Years. And I think I wanna jump into In 5 Years because I think it'll be vastly different than Beach Read. Now, someone commented on my TBR video and said that In 5 Years is not necessarily, they were like, I can guarantee it's not a romance because they've read it or whatever. Like, I read it and I could tell you it's not a romance. But everybody else was like, I love it, I love it, I love it. So I don't think it's gonna be like a rom-com, but it is about a relationship and decisions that you have to make. It's kind of weird. The premise is, it's like you are with this person, your life is, you know, going in one direction, and then you wake up one day and it's 5 years into the future and everything looks different. So I don't think it's so much a romance based on like falling in love or being in love, or I was in love with this person and now I'm in love with this person. I don't think it has to do with that. Also wanted to point out before we go on, I just did the mid-year book freak out tag and I just got finished. Like literally yesterday I filmed it. I posted the video this morning and I was like, no book has made me cry this year. This book made me cry. Like there was like a certain part like within the last 30 pages that it just like really like hit me, and I was like, oh, I knew it was gonna happen too, because it happened in another book like the same way, and I don't want to like give it away because you might be able to guess, but like oh my gosh, it just made me cry. And then like, I don't know, just the ending was so good. Hello friends, little update. I have Charlie here because I think I'm gonna give her her bath now. I haven't heard back from Allie about In 5 Years, and that's what I was thinking to read next. So I don't know if I'm gonna jump into that one or not. It's either gonna be that or Normal People. I have the books like right over there on that table. I did film my summer book haul. Look at my bookshelves, guys. They are a disaster. We did it. While she's drying herself off a little bit, I'm gonna hook up the hair dryer because I also use that to like completely dry her off and make sure her ears are really dry and stuff. All right, there she is. She's not like 100% dry, but she's nice and fluffy now. Not that much time has passed, but I did get to chat with Allie, and she told me to go forth and prosper alone. Yeah, she's just reading a lot of other things right now, and she just told me to go ahead, which is fine because like our reading taste is so similar. I'll be able to tell her like bump it up on your TBR or bump it down on your TBR. So I'm gonna go ahead and start In 5 Years. I wonder what the main genre is, because people were telling me it was not romance. And this author has actually wrote The Dinner List, Truly Madly Famously, Famous in Love, The Edge of Falling, When You Were Mine, and let's see. It says love stories. So, It doesn't say romance, but it says love stories. So I'm gonna go into Goodreads. And I do plan to do reviews of the books that I'm reading, but right now I don't have time for that. I have to sit with my thoughts for a few days. So I will have eventually a review up on Goodreads and possibly my blog for Beach Read and other books that are missing reviews right now. It's just that I've been a little busy reading, which is great. Currently reading. All right, so I thought I would give you guys an update on In 5 Years. I'm currently on page 108, which is about 40% in, and I'm not enjoying this as much as Beach Read. It's reading very slow. It's not a romance. It's kind of, I don't know, it kind of just feels all over the place. Basically, the story starts with her and her boyfriend, and they get engaged, and then the night that she gets engaged, I guess she has like too much champagne, and when she wakes up, she's with this other guy in like a totally different apartment, and she's like, what the heck? And then she can't stop thinking about it, and I think like several years pass, and then her best friend introduces her to this guy, and it's the guy that was in that like alternate dimension or whatever. And she doesn't know what to make of it. She's thinking that that's like the future, so she's trying to like, I don't know, figure things out. But meanwhile, it's been like 4.5 years since she got engaged, and she's still with the guy. They haven't gotten married yet, and now they're like on this little vacation, like there's a group of them on vacation. I don't know, it's just like very weird. And for being like 40% through it, you're like it says In 5 Years, and it's been like 4.5, and they're already past the 4.5 mark. I don't know, it just feels very weird, like what's gonna be the outcome? Okay, I was literally just in here updating you guys on my thoughts on In 5 Years. I'm currently on page 123, and this story just took a turn. Good morning, friends. It is day 3 of Romance-a-thon, and I'm gonna make some coffee. I did finish a book yesterday, or I should say last night. I finished In 5 Years by Rebecca Cyril. However you say this author's name, I apologize, but I finished this last night, and whoever commented on my TBR video and said this is not a romance, obviously you were right. It's not a romance story, and I had a lot of issues with it, and I actually only ended up rating it 3 stars. Sorry, my words are slurring together. I just woke up. I have a lot of thoughts about it. I ended up only rating this one 3 stars. So I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute, but I have to, I'm making my coffee. I have to put a couple of dishes in the dishwasher. Okay, that's much better. Okay, so let me take a sip of my coffee. Yum. Okay, yesterday I was reading In 5 Years, and I was really excited for this because it sounds like it was going to be like a pick your own path type thing. So the synopsis says that Danny Cohen lives her life by the numbers. Well, it starts on the very top with, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And Danny Cohen lives her life by the numbers. Her every goal has long been mapped out and accounted for. To her mind, the predictable does not exist. She is nothing like her lifelong best friend, the wild, whimsical, believe in fate Bella. So when Dani is asked the proverbial question at the most important interview of her career, she has a meticulously crafted answer at the ready. Later, after nailing her interview and accepting her boyfriend's marriage proposal, Dani goes to sleep knowing she is right on track to achieve her 5-year plan. But when she awakens, she's suddenly in a different apartment with a different ring on her finger and beside a very different man. I'm just going to be completely honest and say that that synopsis is very misleading, not only in where she'll be in 5 years and the 2 different scenarios that it gives you, but it's very misleading as you think that that's going to be the main storyline, and it's not. For parts of the book that it's a really short book, it's like 251 pages, and this could have easily been a novella focused on the main storyline about, you know, 2 friends, and I think it would have been like stronger, more feminist, you know, but it just, there were certain plot points that happened that literally had nothing to do with anything, and I guess that was character development, but it was just, I don't know. I think I'm going to be going into like full spoilery thoughts in my wrap up, because, or maybe I just need to write a review and talk about it in spoiler thoughts. But I don't know. I want to talk to someone about this because everybody was like, oh, I really liked that. I really liked this. And I just don't understand what they liked about it other than the friendship. And that wasn't even what the book was supposed to be about. I don't know. I gave it 3 stars because I wasn't really bored, but I wasn't really enjoying myself. And I kind of, you know, like, I was just reading it to find out like what happened. What was that other life? Does it come to fruition? That type of thing. Hello, friends. It's about 9 o'clock and I just logged off of Animal Crossing. I was thinking of going on a walk and taking you along with me, and I'm trying to find my AirPods so I can, oh, I think I found them, so I can listen to something completely not on my TBR for Romance-a-thon, but it's something I wanted to listen to. Hey friends, I have finished my breakfast after my walk and I'm gonna stick with Normal People by Sally Rooney. I think just for the sake of this readathon, this will be my last book, and I definitely think because of like how it's written, it's going to take me more than a day to get through, and that's fine. Like, that's okay. I've already exceeded my expectations.